1811 यही कंज्यूमर हेल्पलाइन।
This is India 360, broadcasting live from the CNN IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Hi there, very good evening to you. Welcome to India 360, the program dedicated to the citizen of India. Here are the headlines. On now to our top story in India 360, the bulk of the drinking water in the 4 metros is poisonous. It is contaminated with deadly microbial bacteria, which means that the drinking water you're drinking is mixed with sewage. This is the finding of a CNN IBN and Consumer Voice special investigation team. Chennai's water supply is the most hazardous for health, followed by Kolkata and Delhi. Here's a report from Rohini Mohan.
Scientists from an NABL accredited lab, the Food and Research Analysis Center in Delhi, collected water samples from Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi and Mumbai for this CNN IBN and Consumer Voice investigation. And this is what they found. Mumbai water fared the best with chemical and microbial contamination within acceptable limits. In Delhi, some samples like this one from a Delhi Jal Board tanker showed high levels of disease-causing coliform bacteria. In Chennai, coliform bacteria and E. coli pathogen responsible for several waterborne diseases were present in most samples. Chennai water also showed a high level of iron contamination. 42% of the samples drawn from Kolkata recorded hardness and some showed unsafe levels of coliform bacteria.
This is not acceptable by any standards. The maximum permissible limit is 10 and you have 11,000.
Clearly, the water supplied to consumers by the Chennai municipality is unfit for human consumption.
We see sewage mixed with the drinking water that we get through the metro water pipelines.
How do you know this sewage?
You can actually see the black dust and muddy color of the water.
We are scared to use this water, so we buy water from outside.
Rusting water pipelines and poor maintenance of water distribution system infrastructure further contaminate the water.
If this type of result was not spreading hepatitis, then it is just God's grace.
Every day 1,600 people lose their lives because of the water they drink. If the government can't even provide safe drinking water for people living in metropolitan cities, one can only wonder what the condition must be in other cities. With Bureau Inputs in Chennai, Rohini Mohan.
Coliform bacteria 110 times over the permissible level in the drinking water in Chennai. So CNN, IBN and Consumer Voice tested water samples supplied by municipalities in the metro cities. Our special investigation team took 4 scientists to the 4 cities and tested them at an accredited lab at the Food Research Analysis Center, in fact in Dwarka, which is an accredited testing lab. Not only is the water unfit for human consumption, but there is little that the consumer can actually do. There is no legal recourse if you're drinking poisonous water. There is no law that guarantees the right to clean drinking water.
Srinivasan Raghavan, a resident of T Nagar, Chennai, uses the municipal water supply for drinking. And though he knows his water is contaminated, Raghavan can do little against the municipality.
There is no legal recourse that you can have, because as a citizen of India, you do not have a legal right to clean water.
Many residents in Mumbai and Delhi have similar complaints.
In the big building Charlie there, often they have a problem. Some pipes are broken or leaking and getting into this water.
One, of course, is there's such a dire shortage of water that people think many times, oh, they will complain about what they are getting. They're so thankful that we've got something.
Studies show that groundwater, which many consumers are forced to use, is no better. It contains chemical toxins like arsenic. While expensive purification devices can reduce microbial pollutants, they cannot handle chemicals. Clearly, there are many questions to be answered.
What do we do in areas where water is often contaminated with sewage because the pipelines are so old? What do we do in terms of making sure that the system can work for all?
The 4 major metro cities collectively earn more than 2,000 crore rupees as revenue for drinking water tax. And you, the consumer, have no legal right to clean water. I'm Neeti Tandon in New Delhi.
And that brings us to the question we are asking on India 360 tonight. Should municipal authorities be brought under consumer laws? And joining us to try and answer this question and to try and find reasons for the contamination of our drinking water and what we can do about it, we have Mr. M.B. Nirmal. He joins us from Chennai. He is the founder of Ex-Nora, which is a civic rights group based in Chennai. And we also have in our studio right here Sunita Narain, Director of the Center for Science and Environment. And we have Prof.S.R.Khanna, who is of course well known to us and Chairman of Consumer Voice right here in the studio with us. Mr. M.B. Nirmal, let me come to you first. Chennai has the highest level of contamination in its drinking water. The maximum permissible level is 10. The bacteria content in Chennai water is 11,000. Why is this?
As a matter of fact, what I want to tell you that what you say is a fact, but unfortunately you cannot compare Chennai with Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. Here it's a water-starved city. You need more water to flow into the water pipe system. Then only there won't be intrusion of sewage. So the sewage flow is more and the drinking water is less. This is the main problem. The 24 hours water supply, if it's assured, there won't be a problem.
So the main reason is that there is not 24-hour water supply, and that is why the water is becoming contaminated.
Yeah, one more correction I want you to make. Here in Madras, this water supply is managed by a separate board called Metro Water. It's not done by municipal corporation. A board has been created. They have been doing. For them, the struggle was supplying the quantity than quality. They should bring water through truck, lorries and all supply. They have been facing a big problem. And another reason I must share with you, there are many lakes where the water is stored from far off place, the Krishna water and Viranam. These are all stored in lakes where there are encroachments. For example, Porur Lake, 1/3 was occupied and people were letting out all their sewage into the drinking water, which are supplied to south of Chennai. But now, one good news is that the present government taken action. They removed all the encroachments. And the government has announced they are going to remove in 40 lakes the encroachments.
They are going to remove the encroachments. Let's get a view from Sunita Narain here. The reasons for contamination, Mr. Nirmal is saying that there is no 24-hour water supply, so the water is settling and is gathering rust, etc. The fact that there are encroachments at the source, so the source is becoming contaminated. Are these the chief reasons why water is contaminated across metros?
No, Mr. Nirmal is absolutely right. There are other reasons as well, but I think the most important one is that we are polluting our water more and more. And the point he's made about source water is very, very important. Every city today is first contaminating its water and then wants to clean it up. And the big issue, Sabrika, is that we still don't know how we're going to treat our sewage. We must understand that the sewage
how is sewage getting into the water?
See, the fact of the matter is that we have adopted a way of managing water which we really cannot afford, which is to bring water from long pipelines, supply it across long distances in cities. We've created infrastructure where you need constant money to pay back, repair the pipeline, and we do not even pay the cost of the water when it comes to our homes.
So the cost of water, you're saying, has to rise. The rich have to start paying for water.
It's one part of the solution. The other part of the solution is that the rich must use less water. Whatever sewage we have must be treated and managed so that it doesn't contaminate our groundwater systems or our rivers. But the big issue is we better get serious about both water and excreta in India, because otherwise not only are we going to drown in our own excreta, but we are going to be drinking more and more of it.
That is absolutely scary. That is absolutely scary. We are literally, Prof.S.R.Khanna, drowning in our own fecal matter.
See, if you travel from Delhi upstream to the Yamuna, on both sides you will find cities that do not have sewage treatment of any sort. The shit travels from the homes through nalis into the river, and when millions of people are doing it every morning, you can imagine what we are getting.
So we literally up shit creek, as they say. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
Am I right?
But we still have not learned how to manage the sewage.
We do not know how to pay for it. Please understand this. Please understand the fact that today in Delhi, let me just quickly give you some figures.
Yeah.
We pay 2 rupees 20 paisa for 1,000 liters of water. As a comparison, you pay 12 rupees for 1 liter of bottled water. So just compare 1,000 liters, 220 rupees. The cost for the Delhi Jal Board to supply water to your home is 6 rupees for that same 1,000 litres.
Right.
The cost for it to take it back, treat it, is about 50 rupees. So just understand the cost that you have to invest. And in this...
The massive costs are required, but hold that thought because we're going to have to take a short break at this point. As we slide away, take a look at some viewer feedback we have on this. Welcome back to India 360. We're discussing a shocking finding by the Special Investigation Team of CNN, IBN and Consumer Voice, where we have found massive levels of contamination in our drinking water supply, and our panelists are unanimously saying that unless India learns to manage its levels of excreta, we are simply going to be burdened with contaminated water for as long as India survives. Let's now have a look at how much the common man pays the municipal authority for his monthly supply of water. This is across the 4 metros. In Delhi, the monthly bill comes to rupees 100 to 150 a month. In Chennai, it's lesser at about 100 rupees. In Mumbai, water is still cheaper. Mumbaikars pay about 75 rupees a month for their water. And in almost all of Kolkata, water is completely subsidized. Sunita, Narain, these are very, very low figures, and you were saying that it costs the municipality almost 3 times more than what the consumer is paying to actually get the water to the consumer, and 5 times more to take the water away from the consumer. Now, if you raise the price of water even by a rupee, there will be mass protests all across Delhi.
That's because we don't understand one basic fact, that it is the rich who are being subsidized in this way. It is not the poor. The poor pay more for water. They have more disease burden because they get little water, they get dirty water. It's you and me who use water, and the more water we use, the more excreta and the wastewater we generate. It is we who are being subsidized. That fact never comes out. Just to give you a illustration from Delhi, New Delhi gets 400 to 500 litres per capita per day. There are parts of Delhi that don't even get 10 litres per capita per day. But New Delhi does not even pay that basic cost.
So we urgently need to understand that we have to pay for water.
The rich need to pay for water.
And you were saying that it's the sewage will just continue to pile up because we're simply not understanding how to manage the shit.
Yes,
as you said, so
and also, you see, the water that comes to Delhi is Yamuna. And Yamuna is coming all the way. And every town on the way does not have a Delhi Municipal Corporation. They have nalis leading from the toilet into the nala and into the river. So all the shit is coming down. So we have to not only manage Delhi, we have to manage every municipality. We have to have good governance. We have to have MPs.
Will it help to take the municipality to the law? I mean, should the consumer, should groups like yourself take the municipal authorities to the law and say, listen, this is the contaminated water we have.
Something I
we
can
need
support,
justice.
but it will not solve my problem. By amending the law, I will get a court order.
You won't get water.
But I won't get water because water is not going to be produced by a court. There are systems, there are technical engineering systems, there are investments, there is management.
Right.
But I disagree.
Let's quickly get a voice from Chennai. Mr. Nirmal, what is the one urgent measure that has to be taken that you would advise the water board of Chennai to take to clean up the water supply? What is the one urgent measure? Very quickly, sir, we're running out of time.
Yeah, the point is now they are having a big problem, as Sunita said. I mean, it's a very loss incurring service, and they are finding it difficult. And in fact, Madras water was spent petrol like water and brought water like petrol. We have instances. Water is becoming very scarce. I feel one suggestion I would say that toilets for everyone. I think toilets are important, and
toilets, that's a very, very important suggestion. Yeah. Would you agree with that, Sunita? Yes. Mass provision of toilets.
Toilets, but toilets with compulsory recycling of the toilet water, not toilets without treatment of sewage. because otherwise you will just have more contamination. It's very important, just to go back to the earlier discussion, my own belief is, one, we must have a right to clean water. That right must get translated into a number of cases where we actually demand that right to clean water. It will force our municipalities and our governments to find another way. This way will not work.
So generation upon generation of Indians will drink contaminated water unless we do something very fast, quickly. What is the one measure you would advocate?
I think the National Drinking Water Mission.
Right, National Drinking Water Mission. I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks very much to all our panelists, Mr. Nirmal, Mr. Sriram Khanna, Sunita Narain. Thanks very much indeed. Here's our parting shot of the evening. It's from Sunita Narain. She says India urgently needs to manage its excreta and recycle the toilet water. Otherwise, generations of Indians will forever be consigned to drinking poisonous water. If you've been affected by water contamination and have pictures to show, SMS CJ to 2622 and become a citizen journalist on CNN IBN. You can also send pictures or videos of water contamination as an MMS to 98735 44444 or email them to us at citizen@ibnlive.com. That's it on this discussion on shocking levels of drinking water contamination. On the other side of the break, we'll get you a story from Ayodhya where peace is beating its drum.